All right, so this is example 2, solving by elimination. With this one right here, it's not as apparent that we have a really easy way to eliminate variables, okay? So 3 and 5 different coefficients on the x, 4 and 6 different coefficients. They are not opposite signs or anything. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to change both equations so that we can have one of the terms is able to be eliminated. So I'm going to take a look at the x terms in each, okay? So here's a 3x and here's a 5x. Now, what you want to think of is you want to think of what is a common multiple between 3 and 5, and that's what you kind of want to change these terms into. So what's a common multiple between 3 and 5? 15, right? Very good. So 3 times 5 is 15. That's the lowest common multiple between 3 and 5. So what that means is I'm going to have to multiply this equation by 5 and this equation by 3. And I have to do one more thing, though. That's not going to be enough to eliminate. What else do I have to do? Make one negative. Very good. So let's make the second one negative. Okay? So what's going to happen here, just looking forward, looking ahead, this is going to be positive 15x and then other things. This is going to be negative 15x with other terms. Okay? So that's going to be good. We're going to be able to eliminate the x variable. So I'm going to write this over here. Our new equations, I'll write that in blue. So this is going to be 15x, and of course don't forget that you have to multiply every term by the 5. So this is going to be minus 20y and equals 35. Down here we have negative 15x plus 18y equals negative 24. That look good? Now that's the big new step here. Everyone understand what I did there? Any questions? There are other numbers that you could have multiplied by. For example, I could have tried to eliminate the y terms, and so I would have multiplied by a different number or a couple different numbers to eliminate this one. Okay, but I chose the x term. So now I have a situation where I can simply add the two equations, right? When I add 15 and negative 15, they're gone. That's just a 0 here. So I've eliminated the x term. Negative 20y plus 18y is what? Negative 2y. Very good. And what is 35 plus a negative 24? Positive 11. Okay? Good. So now for this y value, we have a negative 11 over 2. So that's not a real friendly, integer value, but that's what we get. Now, did we do all that right? Okay. So the final step in determining our other value is to plug this into one of the original equations. Okay. So I have a y here, and let's just pick one. I'll pick the first one. So let's do this in, let's see, brown. 3x minus 4 times the y value here is negative 11 over 2 equals 7. Okay, does everybody see what I'm doing here? Finding the x value. Okay, so this is now 3x. This is going to be plus, because the negative times a negative. Remember the little shortcut here. 4 divided by 2 is 2 times 11 is 22. Okay, and sorry? No, it wouldn't be negative because I have a minus here, and this is a negative value, so it would be positive. So 3x equals, I'm going to subtract 22 from both sides, so that's going to be negative 15. Yeah, guys good? And x equals, now if I divide both sides by positive 3, negative 5. Is that looking right? Okay, so here's my x value. Now the only other thing I would want to do is to check that, right? So 3 times negative 5 minus 4 times negative 11 over 2 should equal 7. That's negative 15 plus 4 over 2 is 2 times negative 11, so that's going to be 22 equals 7. That's correct. And the other one real quickly, 5 times negative 5 minus, just hang on here, minus 6 times negative 11 over 2 equals 8. That's negative 25. Plus 3 times 11 is 33 equals 8. And that is true as well. Okay? All right, so with the shortened classes, I'm going to give you one question to do on your own before next class, and we will pick this up later. But it is very important that you guys do one on your own right away after you learn it, okay? So you will have one question for homework, and that's going to be 6A. Okay? So write this down. Number 6A, that needs to be done before tomorrow, and we will continue this tomorrow.